this microphone works since it wasn't working earlier. Drew Wellborn, MD11, FO here in Memphis. Been on property for 18 months. I want to thank you guys for all your tireless efforts. As this process has been going on, I've gone back to ask myself the question, which led me to FedEx, why I came here. Job security and pension. I'm a career military guy, and I understand pensions. Entering to FedEx. Things that concern me with this is, why did the company open scope if it wasn't advantageous to them? I get it, I'm beating the dead horse here, to ask a lot. I'm just trying to get more clarity on it. And who's to say that FedEx can't contract Atlas for more than a year? Right now, volumes are down. Today, there's 90 FOs on reserve on the MD11, including me. That scares me.
So they actually did contract longer on Atlas that just finished up. And the reason they had to do that, so the company prefers monthly or quarterly wet leases. They, again, do not want to lock themselves onto the coattails of another airline and the brand X that are out there. And again, Atlas, their metrics aren't up to par with FedEx. We have a global brand that the company protects dearly, and the global brand comes with a commitment to high-value B2B customers, as well as obviously the consumer, but they guarantee delivery. They guarantee it with real cash, unlike the passenger airlines, and that's why FedEx takes the scope portion of their contract very differently. They manage that differently. So why can't they? They can. They can have a long-term contract, but they don't like the long-term contract because there's depreciation issue for them, and then there's also locking in an added cost to the company. The ACMI, I think a lot of pilots think about this ACMI thing as just the C, just the crew part. It's aircraft, crew, maintenance, and insurance. So they're paying that to Atlas. They're paying that to anybody that can carry our freight when the demand requires it. So when they pay that, they're not just paying just enough for the crew members to get paid. They're paying Atlas ACMI to make a profit. And their profit margin on top of what they're paying, but what FedEx has to pay them, 10% at least for these ACMI operators to actually earn a profit. They can't go in and say it's for free, you just pay for everything here. So they're in a business model themselves that demand a profit margin for their existence. FedEx is willing to pay it, willing to pay a premium, but right now the situation you're describing is exactly the situation that this new language protects you from. That's declining volumes, decreasing volumes. If our airplanes aren't full, why would they go and put 5 or 6 more airplanes in the ramp that they also can't fill up at added cost? It makes no sense at all from a business perspective to be efficient. When we talk about the reduction, I think Brian, somebody mentioned that it's 500,000 pilots overstaffed. Company doesn't share the staffing formula with us. It's not in the contract. We believe, if you look at the count of new hires in the past year, they're clearly overstaffed. And what we're saying is, this TA helps fix staffing immediately for all the pilots at the bottom of the demographic. All the pilots who see potential job loss or stagnation, the exact thing that will help you to turn this thing around would be for a lot of these pilots to go and retire and walk off. Thank you for the long career. Make way for us, right? I mean, it's time for some folks to retire here and do it in dignity and do it with the benefit that we worked our tail off to give them, to negotiate for them. And that will make everybody's life a little bit better here with the staffing that's right size. And FedEx is doing everything they can. So we also have a couple other issues out there. The United States Postal Service contract. The company, again, I'm not saying anything that's I can't disclose, just read the quarterly earnings. They mention that as a threat. It's a headwind right now. It's a headwind that they're projecting because you have to go back in and renegotiate the Postal Service contract. And what is the Postal Service CEO doing? Postal Service has them on a 10-year, very similar restructure over there. They're saying flying less, trucking more. Sounds familiar, so the Postal Service is trying to get their money-losing quasi-government agency into a money-winning situation. Good luck. And then FedEx, who actually has a fighting chance of that, is saying, that's a threat, that's a headwind. But we're also seeing some opportunity. The opportunity is well known right now in the industry. The opportunity has to do with our brothers and sisters at UPS. And I hope they don't go on strike, but FedEx is absolutely sending and deploying their international and domestic sales teams into all corners of the globe to go welcome one-on-one those customers. Because you know what? It's good for us, and it's good for our business. And I hope they're aggressive with it. I hope we get some of those UPS customers and turn them into long-term customers. Because at the end of the day, it may offset some loss in freight, or it may actually turn this thing around for us. So the best way to fix this thing is to actually get this company healthy, let them do their job. We don't run the company. We fly airplanes from point A to point B safely. CEOs are making decisions about integrating the biggest air network, the biggest ground network on the globe right now, that competes with only UPS and DHL. And they're trying to do it in a way without disrupting or dismantling what they've already built. And the biggest thing in that is their name brand. They don't want to lose that in the process. So they have a very tricky, very challenging thing at their fingertips that they're trying to manage through that isn't happening today, it isn't happening tomorrow. It's going to take 3, 4, 5 years. And you just need to look at the TNT integration and see how long that went. So they have an enormous job. And the sooner and quicker they can put us on a better glide path to financial improvement, the better off we all are. And I think we have to be aware of the opportunity that FedEx has out there. But will they be making this more of an express division in terms of what we used to fly, which is P1 freight, and pushing off 2 and 3 day deferred freight to maybe a truck? If they can truck it from Boston to Newark, and it's 2 or 3 days, they can make room on our 757 for P1 freight. On the international, can they push off what they call dirty freight? Stuff that goes in the bellies is called dirty freight because it has zero to no yield. In fact, sometimes it costs this company money to move that freight because they're protecting a larger, bigger, broader base of customers out there that have different demands within our network system. Sometimes they need it there immediately, time definite. Sometimes they don't care if it gets there, but it has to get there 2 days later, but not by a specific time. So they have to balance this whole network as well.
Okay, thank you. Marty, do you have something?
Yeah, just, is it Drew?
Yes, sir.
Welcome aboard, Drew. Marty. Something that hasn't been mentioned, and it does tie into the scope of wet leasing, is 482B and 482C. One of the changes in this TA is to change how we calculate the SAM, and they've eliminated secondary lines. The reason we did that is because we have no access to looking at the secondary lines. And what Rich said, he said some of these lines at carrying, vacation, mill lead, and it drops the value of the secondary lines down quite a bit. Dropping what the SAM is. At the beginning of the year, this was my number one focus, to figure out how to keep us at 42B. And keep us out from hitting that trigger of 68 on SAM. Now, correct Rich, but every month, January, February, March, April, the secondary lines included in the SAM drove the SAM down to 2 to 2.5 credit hours. The SAM last month was, the regular line SAM was 70 and change. And if we included the current CBA definition of the SAM, we would be entering into 42B in the next month or two. So I think part of that is we get prelims for August today, and for the past 2 months we've maintained right at 70, and I think they said this August is looking like a repeat of the past 5 months. So it looks like this first 3 month stretch where we're going to hit a baseline of about 70. I can't predict where the economy is going. A lot of our business is driven by the economy, but hopefully this is where we'll start bottoming out. So, but the redefinition of the SAM definitely helps us keep us out of 42B and hopefully completely out of 42C. And one last thing is, this is about my third cycle of up and down. It takes a while for the company to catch up, hiring, training, all that takes time. I've seen it happen before. We didn't know we were overstaffed, and then we're like, oh my God, we're overstaffed. And it's the same thing with being understaffed. The economy takes off next year or 25, we'll be in the same boat catching up on the upswing. I've seen it happen 3 times here, over my 27-year career, so, but welcome aboard anyway.
So, me and the 500 or 600 of my new friends who been hired shouldn't be concerned?
There's always, I am the chicken in the middle of the union. I always go to the NBC saying, sky's falling, sky's falling. We need to do this, get ahead of it. We'll do the best we can, but what I'm saying is what's in this TA will help us keep us out of 482B, subsequent 482C.
Thanks.
Let me just add one thing. It's a volatile industry, and that's just a fact. That's never gonna change. But on the other hand, I deal with a lot of different carriers. This is the only one where there's been a.
Okay, thank you for that. Bill, do you have any